Okay, so my first thought was if Tesla is unable to crack FSD unsupervised, I mean, totally unable, never happens. That would be low side, right?
Oh yeah, that would be catastrophic.
And then if in addition somebody else did crack it, and they
Wow.
could on a mass production vehicle, most likely BYD, right? Because they
Yeah.
would have the mass production capacity and they would have the China market. So if FSD gets it and we don't get it, I think that would be a huge blow to Tesla. And that would obviously eliminate probably well, out of that 10,000, probably a couple of 150,000 of the, I mean, out of the 10,000, 2,500 maybe of that 10,000
Or more.
or more. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We agree on that. Okay.
Because Tesla are not seeking um, a full coverage of the auto market, so the auto sales will be constrained. Uh, FSD would not leverage their pricing.
Right.
So I think we'd have to look very carefully at what autos could and energy could deliver, and
Right.
then it all rests on the bot, on
Right.
Optimus.
Right. And of course, in that situation, it could go the reverse to where Tesla would then license from whoever it was that did accomplish the result. If somebody else actually got it right, they could license that last piece, that missing patch. Because right now it looks like we're like this close.
If they don't do it, it's because they need some additional sensors,
Yeah.
whether it's, very high definition radar, whether it's LiDAR, whether it's something else. And so it puts 7 million cars out of the fleet.
Right.
It also means that there's going to be a cost to them, you know, and it means that they're going to have to compete, with the winner.
Right.
It doesn't augur well.
All right. So I'm going to go with a slightly less drastic result. So let's say Tesla does crack it and gets approximately the same quality of automated ride hail, um, you know, uh, uh, that somebody else does. Somebody else also does. So we have one competitor, which is kind of the Gary Black scenario, right? He thinks maybe even more than one person.
Oh yeah, he thinks more than one. Yeah.
Okay. So then if that happens, I'd still expect Tesla, and I think Gary Black would expect Tesla to get 20 to 25% of the total ride hail business. If
I
there was,
don't see why. I don't see how they would.
you don't see that they would, if there was more than one player, they wouldn't still get 20 to 25% of the market.
I don't see a reason for them to dominate a market in which they're a second string player.
What if they're equal? I'm saying equal player. Everybody has the same.
Highly unlikely. If they have to pay the winner's going to take most.
Oh, okay. Let's not, we're taking away we're taking away the licensing thing. I'm just saying Tesla gets it, somebody else gets it. They both get it.
Somebody else does achieve the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 20-25% of the market is a potential. This
Okay.
is a second. This is not. They're unable to do it, and they have to license somebody else's. This
This is
is
two people get it.
Yeah.
Tesla and somebody else. Yeah. And I think they're going to end up, and Elon always seems to be very happy with 20% of a market. It always seems to be kind of his goal on a market like that.
Yeah, but Gary calculates the market based upon what Uber and Lyft are doing.
Right.
He doesn't see that this is going to reduce the cost
Right.
of rides by a very dramatic amount, and it's going to expand the TAM, and the TAM is going to eat into the auto industry. He doesn't get that part of the story at all.
And I would make the argument that if there's two players, the price will come down faster and because the
That is true.
competition will that's competition always is a huge.
Yeah, I mean, he in the conversation between him and Dan, that he posited that they would just share a portion of the market that Uber already has,
Yeah, right.
which
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah,
which is ludicrous.
yeah, yeah.
Because if the price of ride hail is going to come down by 70%, 60%, 70%, which is the cost of the human being in the car,
Right.
then the TAM for ride hail is going to
Explode.
quadruple, maybe even more than quadruple, maybe 8 times. It's very, very, very difficult to predict,
Right.
but it's going to be very different.
Right. So I ended up, Larry, in my analysis, thinking that maybe instead of Kathy's number of 7.5 trillion in 2030, that we might be looking, I'm sorry, $7,500 is the share price, that we might be looking at half of that for robotaxi if we were at 20% sharing with other players.
I'm I'm not very comfortable with that, and I'll tell you why. Because I think the multiplier now becomes a divisor, and so I don't think it's just a scale back of that 7,500. I think it's a whole qualitative change.
Okay.
I think you're looking at hundreds of dollars of share price, not thousands of dollars of share price, because the pricing gets impacted directly
Yep.
because you're in a competitive environment and you have a leader, somebody else. You have, it's unclear who's the operational leader.
Mhm.
So I think that even though the TAM will expand by manyfold,
Right.
I don't know, 10, 20, I haven't looked
Right,
at the
right,
numbers recently, but my sense is there's a zero, there's at least 1 0 in the multiplier. Then you really have to look at a shrinking margin, quite a significant shrinking margin, even though the TAM is going to be so large. So it's quite possible that you're going to lose 60, 70, maybe 75% of the potential share price.
Okay, so that would be, we could be looking at, like you said, 800, $900,000 a share instead of $7,500 a share for just the robotaxi part of it.
Yeah. Look, robotaxi is going to expand the TAM of the market to a gigantic number
Right,
because a robotaxi takes the cost of the human out of the ride, and rideshare will become the dominant form of transport, will become a dominant form, if not the dominant form. This is what Gary insists on not recognizing, which is my criticism of him. I think that it's hard to imagine that, oh, well, Uber now has this many miles and Tesla will earn this percentage of that many miles, or whoever
right,
cracks ride hail, whoever cracks full self-driving autonomy will
right,
get a percentage of that. No, the ride hail business is going to expand out of all recognition
right.
because it's going to replace, people owning cars
It's going to
on a
replace
very
us,
large
it's
scale.
going to
It
replace
may
some,
not happen overnight, but it's going to definitely do it.
yeah, it'll replace some public transportation. Elon thinks it'll replace some airplane rides. Yeah, so there's a whole bunch of places that it's going to expand the TAM.
It doesn't even have to replace, mass transportation, although obviously it's going to replace a large percentage of mass transportation, but it's definitely going to completely replace drivers in seats. I mean, there's no doubt about it.
Yep. No, the young people are already doing this with Uber and Lyft. It's already
Yeah.
If you happen to be a big fan of the Cybertruck, you might also be interested in this super fun Cybertruck refrigerator magnet and bottle opener. It is made out of super thick stainless steel, just like the Cybertruck, and it has this giant magnet on the back, so it's going to hold a lot of stuff on your refrigerator. It's an amazing gift, and it comes in that great gift box that you saw before that uses a magnet opener, just almost like an Apple box, like when you get Apple products. You can buy it on Amazon for $29.95, or you can buy it direct from me by sending $25 to paypal.me/Randy Kirk, all in lowercase letters. Please indicate whether you want the stainless steel look or maybe you'd like to have this very clever camo version. And then if you're not in the US, please add $20 for freight. If you'd like more than one, please check the information below to get pricing, as well as all that information I just told you will be repeated in the information below. So once again, think about joining the channel, getting the up-to-date Tesla news every single day. I think you'll be glad you did.